So it has happened. America now officially has a Muslim majority city. No, it's not in the state of Minnesota, not even in the state of Texas, but it is in the state of Michigan. Brace yourselves, dear sisters and brothers of America. You're going to have these people demand Sharia next. Well, it's just a matter of time, I'm afraid. And as to how this came about, I'm going to show you by way of a small slide deck. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And please also forward this to like-minded friends and relatives alike. Here we go. Hamtramck. This is the name of the town in Michigan. And how was it named? How did the name come about? It was named after a French-Canadian soldier, Jean-François Hamtramck. And it was initially settled by German farmers in the 19th century. So you had a city named after a French Canadian, then it is settled by German farmers. In fact, if you look at the Upper Peninsula states, this is one part of the region of America, you'll see a lot of German settlements that got settled over a period of 100 to 150 years leading up to the world wars, of course. So these were all German farmers. I'm not saying every one of them was, but there were a lot of people of German ancestry who settled in these areas. The area was largely farmland, with the Detroit Stove Works employing about 1,300 workers by the late 1800s. So by 1800s, this was becoming a little bit of a farmland, plus it also had some industry in it. Then the opening of Dodge Brothers, this is the Dodge caravan, Dodge family of cars that used to be dotting this the road line in United States a few years ago. Now I think it's part of General Motors. And with the Dodge Brothers plant coming in the early 1914 or so, this sparked a massive influx of Polish immigrants. So from German farmers, the character changed to that of a Polish American backdrop, drawn by the auto industry jobs. Between 1910 and 1920, that's just a decade, the population of the city grew from 3,559 to 46,615, with Poles comprising nearly 90% by the 1920s. So this was a Polish majority town. In fact, it was also called as Little Poland, a hub of Polish Catholic culture with dozens of grocers, bakeries, churches like the St. Florian, St. Ladislaus, and social clubs. By the 1920s, Polish was more commonly spoken on Joseph Campau Avenue than English. Catholic schools like St. Florian had 2,217 students, often with overcrowded classrooms, up to 70 students in a class. The typical classroom size in the United States, even in public schools, I am told is between 20 to 30. Typical, but there may be some exceptions. Pope John Paul II visited in 1987, cementing its Polish identity. So even in 1987, this was a Polish majority city. Then what happened? The Dodge main plant was closed in 1980, followed by its demolition marked a turning point. Well, people started moving away, especially those people who were used to auto jobs. The people started moving to other places. General Motors Detroit Hamtramck assembly plant opened in 1985. So there was a pause of 5 years and they reopened it, but there was a problem. This required razing parts of the adjacent Poletown neighborhood, displacing about 4,200 residents and 6 churches. This disrupted Polish communities, and many second and third generation Poles moved to suburbs like Warren and Sterling Heights, seeking better opportunities. The Hamtramck started seeing the erosion of the Polish character of the place. By 1990, Polish residents dropped to 45% of Hamtramck's population, falling to 25% by 2000 and barely 10% by 2010. That it used to be 90% in 1970. The city's population shrank from 43,355 in 1950 to 18,372 in 1990, reflecting economic challenges and suburban flight. The 1970s saw small numbers of Yemeni immigrants arrive, with the Muad bin Jabal Mosque established in 1976. However, by the 1980s, Bangladeshi immigrants began settling in Hamtramck's eastern neighborhoods, drawn by affordable housing and proximity to Detroit's auto industry. These groups revitalized declining areas, boosting the population by over 25% in a decade. By 2001, they formed a significant community with businesses along Connaught Avenue being titled Bangla Town. And you even have the sign, "Welcome to Bangla Town." Well, community leaders like 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗖𝗘 envisioned it as a tourist destination akin to Detroit's Greek town or Mexican town. By 2010, Bangladeshis made up to 24% of the population. Yemenis escaping conflict and economic hardship arrived in large numbers from 1990s, particularly after the Yemen civil war intensified. By 2013, they comprised over 30% of Hamtramck's population, operating businesses like the Sheba restaurant and the 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗖𝗘 Islamic Center in a former American axle factory. By 2010 US Census, 41.1% of Hamtramck's 22,000 residents were foreign-born, the highest in Michigan at that time. Over 30 languages were spoken, and the city hosted 4 major religions: Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism. By 2013, the Muslim population, primarily Yemeni and Bangladeshi, reached 60%. By 2025, it has now grown to 70%, 70. Storefronts displayed signs in Arabic and Bengali selling Yemeni jambias and Bangladeshi garments. Mosques proliferated with over a dozen by 2017, and the Adhan, that is the Azan as we call it in India, Islamic call to prayer, was broadcast publicly, sparking some resident complaints about the noise, but becoming a daily fixture 5 times a day. 5 times a day. The first one usually starts as early as 4 or 4:30. Schools replaced Easter vacation with Ramadan breaks, reflecting the shift. A street in Hamtramck, formerly known as Holbrook Avenue, has been honorarily named as Palestine Avenue. Hamtramck became the first US city with a Muslim majority city council in 2015, with 4 of its 6 members Muslim, 3 from Bangladesh and 1 from Yemen. Campaign tensions rose, with flyers urging to get the Muslims out of Hamtramck, but the election of Saad al-Masmari and Mohammad Hassan highlighted growing Muslim political engagement. Former Polish-American mayor of Hamtramck, Karen Majewski, a long-time advocate for diversity and a proponent of welcoming immigrants, was instrumental in fostering a welcoming environment for Hamtramck's growing Muslim community. She played a role in the Hamtramck City Council's decision to allow outdoor broadcast of Azan from mosques despite some opposition. She supported flying the LGBTQ+ pride flag outside the city hall. She lost her bid for a 5th term in 2021 to 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗖𝗘 who campaigned against flying the pride flag on city property. In November 2021, Hamtramck elected an all-Muslim city council and its first Muslim mayor, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡, a Yemeni immigrant who won 68% of the vote, defeating Karen Majewski. The council included 2 Bengali Americans, 3 Yemeni Americans, and Amanda Jaskowski, a Polish-American convert to Islam. So even she was converted to Islam. This marked the first US city with an entirely Muslim American government. Just wait, guys, you're going to have Sharia passed in this city very soon. Well, who is this guy, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡? He was born in a Yemeni village. Ghalib immigrated to the United States at the age of 17, working initially at a factory near Hamtramck making plastic car parts. He learned English, trained in healthcare, and now works as a medical professional while studying to become a doctor. And now he's a mayor. His 2021 election at the age of 41 made him the first Yemeni American mayor in the United States. Ghalib has been instrumental in fostering an environment welcoming to Yemeni and Bangladeshi immigrants. His administration supported cultural retention with city hall signs in English, Arabic, and Bengali, and policies accommodating Muslim practices such as the broadcast of Azan. He has advocated for immigrants' rights to maintain traditions, arguing they have the same cultural freedom as other Americans. Ghalib and the council focused on attracting businesses to address Hamtramck's anemic tax base and 40% poverty rate. He has supported Bangladeshi and Yemeni entrepreneurs, contributing to the revitalization of Connaught Avenue and 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗖𝗘. However, challenges like decaying infrastructure and a $14 million budget deficit persist, with two state-appointed emergency financial managers overseeing the city in recent decades. What can you do? Who's going to come and set up shop? Nobody has any purchasing power here. These people are not capable of doing even blue-collar jobs. If they can't do any jobs, there's going to be no tax base. And if there's no tax base, there are no revenues. This is a spiral that just winds down. I don't know what somebody like Amar Ghalib can do. You can't ring a miracle here unless they strike oil, and even that comes with a lot of strings attached. Michigan is a liberal state. Well, let's move on. What happened in June 2023? Ghalib and the council unanimously banned the LGBTQ plus pride flags on city property alongside other ethnic, religious or political flags, citing a desire to avoid special treatment for any group. I would love to see what the Wokes have to say about this video. Those of you who are watching this, if you happen to have friends in the woke community or some who are, who call themselves wokes, please send them this video and ask them what they think of the city of Michigan. This sparked backlash from the liberals and the LGBTQ plus community, who saw it as discriminatory, especially given Hamtramck's history of welcoming diversity. Former Mayor Karen Majewski expressed disillusionment, feeling betrayed after supporting Muslim immigrants. They are not going to elect her again. She is done and dusted. She may want to start a new city where she may have to make sure that none of these people come there. Otherwise, she is not going to become anybody anytime soon. Ghalib defended the decision, accusing the critics of forcing their agenda. See how one by one these things are all about Islamizing the place where they call home. Ghalib's election night celebration in 2021 drew criticism for excluding women, reflecting conservative Yemeni traditions of gender segregation. He noted women participated in his campaign, but acknowledged younger generations are challenging these norms. Come on, man, you're only 40, don't bullshit. Anyway, as of 2025, Hamtramck's population is around 28,000, with 70% Muslim, primarily Yemeni consisting of 30% and Bangladeshi consisting of 25%. Polish residents are 10%, African Americans are 10%, and smaller groups including Bosnians, Albanians, and Ukrainians. Over 40% are foreign born, and 32 languages are spoken in this city. 32 languages. That's amazing. That's a lot of diversity. Yet you will only have mayor of one religion. From here till redistricting happens or something else really bad happens. Mosques outnumber churches now, with the azan competing with church bells. Women in the niqabs and burqas walk alongside those in miniskirts. But for how long? For how long? Now let us take a look at what is happening today. Businesses catered to Yemeni and Bangladeshi communities with murals. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡𝗖𝗘2013 𝗝cie restaurant mural celebrating Yemeni heritage. The all-Muslim city council and Mayor Ghalib, supported by a Muslim police chief, reflected the demographic shift. Some Americans, Polish residents, and liberals feel alienated by the rapid cultural shift, citing the azan's volume, gender segregation, and conservative policies. I'm now reminded of what 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡 used to tell me. Anytime he used to report anything to the city of Toronto, they would send one policeman who was a Pakistani, and he had it for 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗡. He said, I could never get justice from this biased man. And he used to start laughing, saying that, what the hell, I'm in Canada and I still am getting hounded. Anyway, now here is a critical perspective of what's happening in Hamtramck. Its shift from a Polish Catholic enclave to a Muslim majority city is a story of economic necessity, cultural resilience, and political evolution. Yeah, this is all the sugar-coated stuff. Next, the auto industry's decline and Polish suburban flight created a vacuum filled by Yemeni and Bangladeshi immigrants who revitalized the city but introduced new tension. Revitalization doesn't mean just buying houses on the cheap and then paying taxes. Even that is much funded and sponsored by the city or the country. These things are going to go away. Trump administration is not going to give these handouts. Mayor Ghalib's leadership has empowered these communities, fostering economic and cultural growth. But there's always a but in such cases. His conservative policies have ignored some residents, reflecting the challenges of balancing diversity with cohesion. So what is going to happen next? In Hamtramck, road signs now include Arabic alongside English and Bengali. LGBTQ plus signs are gone. The Islamic ritual of animal sacrifice during Eid al-Adha in front yards has become a notable aspect of the city. Muslims are taking over businesses from Polish Americans in Hamtramck. The damage is done and there is no way back. There you have it, the first Muslim majority city in America. Wake up, America. Stop this nonsense and make sure that no illegal ever gets in, and don't get involved in wars in other countries. First, clean house. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.